This guy loves his hyper-pop intros.
This is a buttonless Nintendo DS that could only be used in a specific museum in Japan.
Oh, that's cool.
This is a Crystal Ice Nintendo Wii, officially licensed by Nintendo to coincide with a Smash Brawl tournament. And this is a one-of-a-kind GameCube that could only be used in the Central Japan International Airport. These consoles are among hundreds of obscure versions of Nintendo systems, most of which are extremely rare today. And in this video, I wanted to take a look into Nintendo's history with strange console variations. Big thanks to consolevariations.com, I found most of my info there. And now, let's begin with the Wii and its many obscure variations. Yes, believe it or not, Nintendo officially gave CrystalIcing.com permission to create not one, but two different Nintendo Wiis that were Crystal Ice.
Blinged out.
The first of these Crystal Ice Wiis was this Twilight Princess branded one, which Crystal Icing created for Nintendo sometime in 2007. The thing has a pretty neat design, with one side having the Triforce on it, and the other side having Link as he appears in the Twilight Princess box art, depicted through hundreds of crystals. Overall, it's pretty visually appealing. It made some headlines in a few digital magazines and whatnot, but overall, this Crystal Ice Zelda Wii was quite unknown. It was the second Crystal Ice Wii that would really get some traction online due to the means in which you were able to obtain it. So, in 2008, Nintendo of America hosted a very special event, the Super Smash Bros. Brawl American Circuit. This was a tournament circuit hosted shortly before the launch of Super Smash Bros. Brawl. 4 qualifiers were held across the United States between February to March of 2008, with the grand finals being held in New York on March 8th. Alongside a handful of other Nintendo memorabilia and even a 42-inch TV, which was big back in 2008, the winner of the grand finals would be awarded a specially crafted Crystal Ice Wii featuring a Smash Brawl inspired design. On the left side of the Wii there is a Mario design with a white background, and on the right side is a Bowser design with a blue background. Anyway, the Smash Brawl Wii was won by Korean DJ, a retired Korean American Smasher? That's what they call them? Yeah, Korean DJ won the tournament, thus meaning the Crystal Ice Wii was his. But what happened to this Wii after he won the tournament was quite strange. See, first it was just assumed that he had the Wii in his possession, but at some point down the road, the Wii was sold to a rare video game collectible selling website called Combo Point. In September of 2013, Combo Point had placed the Wii for auction on eBay with a starting bid of $20,000 US. The auction ended several days later with a whole 0 bids, and as of today, the current whereabouts of this Smash console are unknown.
What the fuck?
You know, I actually wonder, what is Crystal Icing up to nowadays? CrystalIcing.com. Okay. Our next special Wii variation was birthed from a very similar situation. A company who focuses on a specific service was given the green light by Nintendo to create a uniquely designed version of the Wii. This time, a company called Top Airbrush were behind a Wii designed around FIFA 10. Specifically, it was Torsten Ratschu of Berlin who airbrushed this Wii. This Wii features a red design, as well as an airbrushed picture of Bastian Schweinsteiger. As for how many Wiis of this design were produced, only one. This is the only FIFA 10 Wii in the world, and if you wanted to obtain it, you had to participate in a sweepstakes event held in the January 2010 issue of Endzone magazine, the oldest German Nintendo newsletter. Overall, this Wii is not too special. However, there was another Endzone Wii which could
Kleiden your Konsole nu ein. Where verlassen Kurzebendhor?
The August 2008 issue of the magazine. It is this Pirates of the Caribbean themed Wii, and it looks like this, and yeah,
that looks like shit.
5 of these were produced rather than the one FIFA.
Rare 5
However,
Pirates of the
all of
Caribbean
these
Johnny Depp
consoles
Wii
are unknown today. For our next Wii on the list, this was a console that you could only get your hands on if you visited a certain place in the real world. Basically, back in the mid to late 2000s, many hotels were including Wiis as complimentary amenities that you could access in your room or even in the hotel gym. Approximately 17 years ago, Marriott International partnered with Nintendo to launch a first-of-its-kind pilot program that integrated the Wii into the hotel experience. Unlike the standard home console, these hotel units allowed guests to select from a digital library of 20 titles to
got MKW on there. Let's play
eliminating the
retro.
need for physical game discs. Popular games included in the service were Mario Kart Wii, Super Mario Galaxy, Wii Sports, and the fitness-focused Wii Fit. After these Marriott hotels started integrating the Wii into their hotel experience, other hotels would follow suit, such as Westin Hotels, New York's Hotel Gansevoort, and eventually
I
the
would've
Wynn
ran
in
some
Las
Mario
Vegas.
Kart Wii there.
It was here that a specially designed Nintendo Wii with the Wynn
that's
Encore
pretty cool.
logo printed on it could be found. I really have no clue if this was one of the Wiis that were usable in the rooms, or if this was featured in some sort of promotional giveaway, as info on this console is very scarce. ConsoleVariations.com claims that it was a casino sweepstakes prize. However, a guy who has the console listed on eBay for a calm $4,000 says that it was simply a rare promo console. This hotel did at one point offer Wiis in their hotel rooms, however this Wii being a sweepstakes prize also sounds like a good theory. That being said, there's not all too much going on with this console. It has a cool story behind it, and if you did want to pick it up for yourself, here you go. This next Wii was also only able to be obtained by going to a real-world location, this time at the Keisei Skyliner. The Keisei Skyliner is a high-speed airport train in Japan that runs between Narita International Airport and central Tokyo, mainly stopping at Ueno and Nippori. It's known for being one of the fastest and most convenient ways to get into the city, with a direct ride that takes around 40 minutes and includes reserved seating and space for luggage.
Like, is it just me, or does this look like such a nicer train than we have in America?
For a lot of travelers, it's basically the first real experience of Tokyo after landing, as it's clean, efficient, and super streamlined. But what if I told you that the Keisei Skyliner could not only be efficient for traveling, but also efficient for winning a game console? Yes, that's right, from June 1st to September 30th of 2008, if you took a round trip on the Keisei Skyliner and then applied by mail with your express ticket, you could enter a little sweepstakes giveaway that allowed you to win one of 3 prizes. You had a choice between this specially designed Wii, a Dyson handy cleaner, and a waterproof DVD. I don't really know what that last one is, either it's a DVD copy of the Burt Reynolds film Waterproof.
Burt Reynolds?
Well, I don't know why it would be that.
Why do you bring
or
that
it's
shit
actually a
up?
waterproof DVD, which I also don't know why it would be that. Whatever, regardless, you'd be crazy not to pick the Wii. I mean, look at that. It has a logo on it. Around 50 to 100 of these Keisei Skyliner Wiis were produced back in 2008, and just like most of the consoles on this list today,
cool.
any owners of the console are currently unknown.
That's dope. What the
While I was
fuck?
trying to research this console, I stumbled across some live stream where this dude is playing like the weirdest Mario Kart Wii mod ever. It's like a Keisei Skyliner mod pack, I think. I genuinely have no
Can we
idea
play
what
this?
kind of...
Yo, I kind of want to play this shit. What the fuck is this?
reality I stumbled into. I mean, there's so much. While we're still on the topic of Wiis that you had to seek out in the real world, we have this PAX 2008 Wii. This was a giveaway at the 2008 PAX Festival, alongside specially designed PAX Xbox 360s and PS3s.
That's pretty cool.
It has the PAX logo, blue stand, it's pretty cool, I guess. The final Wii that you could only get from a real-world event was the EA Active Wii, which was available to those who
Astro
attended
said
the
you were so cute. Bro, I'm booed up. What the fuck?
EA Sports Active for Life campaign in 2010, which was a partnership with the March of
You
Dimes
best be
nonprofit.
jesting.
15 of these EA Active Wiis were produced, some of which were signed by celebrities who attended
These
this
Wiis
charity
are
event.
cute.
This one was signed by Sean Sipos, known for his role in the hit film. Alright, next I want to tell you about the Comedy Central Wii, as well as the Wii car.
You
If
were
you're a fan
so
of my
cute.
channel and have
Okay,
seen
bet. What did you say?
previous videos, you may remember me talking about a promotion Nintendo did with Comedy Central back in the mid to late 2000s. Basically, Comedy Central ran a recurring Thanksgiving promotion called the Thanksgiveaway Weekend from 2006 through 2010, built around giving away Nintendo Wii-themed prizes. Viewers had to watch throughout the holiday weekend, write down hourly on-screen code words, and then submit them for a chance to win, making it kind of like a TV scavenger hunt of sorts. The most notable prize was 2006's custom Toyota Scion XB with a huge Wii logo plastered on it, as well as 2007's Scion XD. Alongside
Yo, I'm pulling up in the Wii-mobile. That shit looks clean as fuck.
the cars, which are absolutely absurd, a handful of other prizes were given away.
That looks
One of these prizes
badass.
being a Nintendo Wii with the Comedy Central logo printed next to the disc drive. Exactly 48 of these Comedy
Who the
Central
fuck
Wiis were
owns
produced during
that?
the years this promotion ran.
That's
and
so
surprisingly,
weird and
one
random.
of these 48 owners is actually known. A user on ConsoleVariations.com actually submitted an
Wow,
image of this
that's
Wii around a
cool.
year ago, which is pretty neat. The design isn't really all that crazy, but the sort of rare promotion that it came from is what makes this Wii cool to me.
Mitch Hedberg
Another
Wii.
similar Wii with a not-so-standout design, but a neat little story behind it is the ATI Wii, or the We Did It Wii, because on this
Comedy
console,
Central
it has
Wii is
the words
heat.
We Did It engraved into the back. The reason this console was made is because
We did it.
ATI wanted to reward the team at their company which worked on the Wii's graphics cards. An exact
That's
number
sweet.
for how many of these Wiis were made is unknown, however it's assumed to be at least like 2. I guess however many people were on the team that made the graphics card would equate to how many of these Wiis were made, but nobody really knows for sure. Some other interesting rare Wiis were the Art of Wii
that
consoles,
one's
which
cool.
were
What
designed
the
by
fuck?
real artists for the Art of Wii
That
design
one's
contest.
sick as hell. Wait, hold up. That one's sick. I kind of would like that one. That's kind of like Y2K. There's a bunch of these.
Held in Canada in 2007. There were 6 of these consoles made.
Darn
each with their own
Canadians
unique
again,
design.
all the good
There was
shit.
also the Glee Wii, which was a Wii signed by the cast of Glee.
Yo, I really want the Glee Wii. Signed by the cast of
And finally, to round out this
For the
Wii segment of
Nintendo
video,
Wii.
how could it be a rare Nintendo consoles video without talking about the Queen of England's Golden Wii?
Huh?
With an asterisk. So in 2009, the game publisher
What the
THQ
fuck?
commissioned a unique 24-karat gold-plated Nintendo Wii, along with a copy of their shovelware mini.
Big baller ass Wii just to play big family games.
collection,
Alright.
Big Family Games, with the intention of gifting it to Queen Elizabeth II and her family. According to THQ, the idea was that the royal family deserved a special console rather than a standard white Wii in order
They
to
deserve
promote
a
the game
special
and grab media
console.
attention. However, and perhaps unsurprisingly, the Golden Wii never ended up
You
in
know,
royal
you knew
hands.
about
For
this?
security and protocol reasons, the gift was refused by Buckingham Palace and returned to THQ. Over the years, after
They
THQ went
refused it?
bankrupt,
That's really
the Golden Wii
funny.
passed into private hands and eventually became a collector's item. It would later resurface on auction sites.
No wonder they went fucking bankrupt making bullshit like the Golden Wii.
For a time with an asking
I
price
am
as
impressed
high as
I didn't know about it, though.
$300,000 USD. And that just about does it for the Wii's many rare variations. Let us move on to the rare Nintendo DS's.
Okay.
Did you know that Cheetos made a special
Fuck off,
Nintendo
let's
DS
go.
back in... Well, actually, I don't really know the year. Nobody does. See, in a YouTube video from December of 2019 called Crush Gear Arabic Episode 1, at the 10-minute mark, an advertisement for Cheetos plays which first depicts some sort of map-looking thing, and then a Nintendo DS...
Yo! Pulling up with this motherfucking thing? This is clean as hell, the Cheetos DS.
DS with a Cheetos design appears. Some Arabic text shows
Let's
up on
go.
screen, which, I'm gonna be real with you, I can't read any of this. And then the ad just kinda ends after some more text and a very low quality logo appears on screen. Due to this video's
This YouTuber's
extremely poor
xenophobic!
quality, it's really hard to make out what the Arabic text actually reads, but there is some brief info online about this console. What we know is that this Cheetos DS was a giveaway prize from Cheetos in the Middle East, and that's it.
That's fire.
The
I
only proof of
want
this
that
Cheetos
DS.
DS even existing is from this Nokia quality ad, and hell, that's not even the real thing. I mean, that looks like a 3D
It does-
model.
it- yeah.
So who even knows if
Is it
anyone
even
won
real?
this thing? Another very obscure region-exclusive DS that was part of a giveaway was the First Touch IQ DS. For a little backstory, from 2000 to 2015, China had a ban in place on most home video game systems, so in 2003, Nintendo partnered with iQIYI so they could release their systems in China.
Really?
And in 2005, they released the IQ DS. But not without a pretty interesting auction first. Basically, Nintendo held the First Touch auction to bring some more hype to the IQ DS. This was a contest that you could enter which would win you a Nintendo DS necklace, which is sick, an
It's
IQ DS
fire,
branded
bro.
briefcase,
Blinged up
the
with the
IQ DS
DS
itself,
chain.
which had a special gold emblem on it, and a copy of the game Polarium. Alongside this auction, they also held a series of really cool events in Beijing, Shanghai, Tianjin, Chengdu, Wuhan, Zhengzhou, and Shenyang.
It's fire.
But the best part about this whole campaign is that we actually know who the special DS
look
went.
how blinged up that fucking necklace is. No rappers trying to flex this shit. If I had rapper money, I would buy this DS chain in a fucking heartbeat, bro. Blinged up with the DS chain.
Who was a
Come
man
on.
named Fan Jue Wen, who paid 7,700 yuan for the console. IQ then donated this money to
I
charity.
thought it was Juan.
20 years later, the whereabouts of this console are up for speculation. However, I'd assume that Mr. Jue Wen, wherever he may be, probably still has it in his possession. Two other cool IQ DSs came out around the same time, both of which being collaborations with soda companies. The first one was the Pepsi DS collab,
Pepsi
which
DS,
came with
let's
a handful of
go.
other items too. This collab wasn't actually exclusive to China though, as Japan got it first. Inside of the DS Pepsi kit, You could get the console itself, which has a pretty neat design
that looks
to it,
clean as
a
fuck.
pair of Pepsi headphones,
Pepsi
and I guess
headphones.
some drinks. There's multiple eBay listings out there which actually have this Pepsi DS for sale, all of which are selling the Japanese version. The IQ Pepsi DS is far rarer. The second Soda DS was the
Yo, the 7-Up DS? That looks
China
fire.
exclusive 7-Up
China
DS,
exclusive.
this one being much harder to come across than the Pepsi one. There's only 3 images of this console on
Bro,
the internet,
that's
with one of the
hard.
only sources talking about it being the archived IQDS website.
What the hell?
The console was part of a promotion which began on August 15th and ran for 15 weeks, giving soda drinkers the opportunity to win this 7-Up DS by collecting and sending in 7-Up bottle caps. The console itself doesn't really have that cool of a design. I mean, it's just a
Doesn't have a cool design? Come on, bro. He's not a true 7-Up enjoyer. This shit's clean as fuck.
Printed on it, but a cool story behind it nonetheless. A Coca-Cola DSi actually exists too, but there isn't really much info regarding the system and where it came from.
Weird.
There was also a Red Bull DS released in Germany, Austria, and the United States, all of which were prizes for winning a breakdancing competition.
What the fuck?
I can't even hate, like, that's something to say. For our next set of rare DSs, we get to circle back to the Crystal Iced consoles because they designed a ton of Nintendo DSs with Crystal Iced designs, which you could purchase in the Nintendo World Store for like $350. There was a Nintendogs one with lips, one for the singer Ayumi Hamasaki, more Nintendogs ones, a Mario one, a Link one, a Yoshi one, another Mario one which you can buy on eBay for like $100,000, and a whole bunch of other ones that came with completely unique designs. Aside from that last Mario one, all of these consoles were crystal iced by the company NYC Peach, which actually sold the consoles on their websites after they were taken out of the Nintendo World Store. They also worked for Sony and made crystal iced PSPs, as well as a crystal-studded Game Boy Advance
I need that shit.
Some of these rare consoles
Where is the L3DS?
occasionally be listed on eBay, all for extremely outrageous prices, and then they go missing again. Some more expensive DS systems were these 3 auctioned off for charity at the Sundance Film Festival in Park City, Utah.
Those are pretty hard.
At the 2005 Sundance Film Festival, Nintendo hosted a special Nintendo DS lounge in the Motorola Lodge that became a major celebrity hotspot. Alongside letting celebrities try upcoming games, Nintendo held a little silent auction for 3 one-of-a-kind custom-designed Nintendo DS systems, with all proceeds going to charity. Comedian Jay Moore won a blue metallic swirl DS with a bid of $10,000, which Nintendo matched to make a $15,000 donation to St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. Actress Poppy Montgomery purchased a green DS with gold graffiti patterns for $2,500, and actor Alan Cumming won a copper and brown design for $1,500. Nintendo matched both of their bids as well, contributing to a combined $8,000 donation towards Tsunami relief.
I'm playing, they did it for charity.
Next, I want to talk about some rare DSs that were made to coincide with a game's release, the first of which being these Electroplankton DSs made for the game Electroplankton.
Oh, that's like triggering my shit,
were produced and given away randomly to those who filled out a survey at the Electroplankton exhibit in Harajuku, Tokyo back in 2005. A special 11th version
I can't look at that. Fucking got trypophobia or whatever the fuck.
Why. This version of the console has a bunch of holes in it, which actually lets you see the inner workings of the DS. This console was not for sale.
What the hell?
Which in my
Scary
opinion, is way
DS.
cooler than the ones they gave out, but then again, it's probably not a good idea.
I'm a pussy DS.
The next game-exclusive DS was this Bleach one, which had designs from Bleach printed all over it.
Oh, that's hard.
This console
as
was made to
hell.
promote the game Bleach: The Blade of Fate. A lottery was run from January 26th to March 16th, 2006, which allowed 50 winners to receive this console after applying for the lottery via mail. There was also 4 unlicensed Animal Crossing Wild World consoles which were given away in Sweden, 1 console for each season. There was a winter version, a spring version, a summer version, and an autumn version.
Those are so cute.
Personally,
what the hell?
I like the winter design the most. I know GTA Chinatown Wars got its own
No
DS. There was
way.
a Tatsujin DS,
Oh, the
a
Taiko
Phantom
one.
Hourglass DS. I feel like I could go on and on for hours about DSs that released for their respective games. That being said, I'm not going to do that, and instead I want to tell you about a Spanish bank who designed their own Nintendo DSs and then got sued over them. So, to celebrate Internet Day back in 2008, Open Bank ran a promotion that feels very of its time. If you opened a new account online between May 17th and June 17th, you were automatically entered into a giveaway. If you did this, you'd be in the running to win a prize bundle, a specially designed Nintendo DS Lite with the Open Bank logo on it, along with a copy of Brain Age 2.
Let's go.
Now, the problem with this promotion was not with Nintendo. Nintendo weren't the ones suing Open Bank. Instead, it was a Spanish digital press called Facua which sued the bank, claiming that this giveaway was a scam.
Cool.
According to the complaints received by Facua, many customers never received their promised DS.
No.
When affected users contacted Open Bank's customer service,
did they even get Brain Age?
Told that there were no consoles in stock and that the DS Lite would be sent once more units became available. However, even
Sonia gives me Brain Age.
6 months after the promotion began, a significant number of customers were still waiting. There's no information about what occurred following this lawsuit, and we still don't know if people actually received their special Open Bank systems. For our second to last rare DS on this list, I wanted to talk about this buttonless DS that I mentioned in the intro. So, in 2006, a museum called Shigeru-den opened, which was fully powered by the Nintendo DS.
That's cool.
The museum centers around the world of Ogira Hayukinen Isshu, a classical anthology of 100 poems by 100 poets. It was funded in part by Hiroshi Yamauchi, the president of Nintendo at this time, and many of its interactive elements were overseen by Shigeru Miyamoto. At the center of this experience is a custom device called the Shigeru Navi. It looks like a DS, but with one major difference, that being that it has no buttons at all. Instead of inputs, the device relies on sensors. It connects to transmitters installed throughout the ceiling, allowing it to track your location inside the museum and automatically deliver content based on where you're standing. Overall, this museum is sick, and the buttonless Nintendo DS is a pretty cool way to make walking around a museum more interactive and not boring. And for our final DS in this video, we have the 50-cent G-Unit DS.
Let's go!
Yep.
That is hard as fuck.
50 Cent himself commissioned a company called Smooth Creations to
make
I'm
gonna need the 50 Cent G-Unit DS.
Why he wanted to do this?
Because it's goated. Look at that. That's so fucking clean, bro. G-Unit. I'ma need that G-Unit DS.
Yep. 50 Cent himself commissioned a company called Smooth Creations
to make
50 camo DSs with the words G-Unit printed on it. Why he wanted to do this? I don't know. It's listed as a sweepstakes for
that's so hard. What the hell?
I don't even know if that's true. He might just be hoarding 50 DSs in his house. Alright, GameCube time.
This guy's edits are
There's
really
a lot less rare GameCubes compared to
bro.
Wii's and DS's, but I still thought I'd talk about them because there's a few notable ones. Starting off, we have the Central Japan International Airport GameCube.
That's cool.
Basically, this extremely rare GameCube was produced solely to be used inside one of Japan's biggest airports, the Chubu Central International Airport. On the top of this console is a picture of the airport's mascot, Chubu. This guy is featured on countless merchandise items, has his own big mascot suit, and now he's here on a GameCube. This special GameCube was the only one produced in the world, and it was supposedly set up somewhere in the airport for children to play on for entertainment, possibly while their parents go and engage in grown-up airport activities.
I'm not afraid to suck my ball. What is it? I'm not afraid to lick my balls. Everybody, come lick my balls. Stand together, lick my balls.
Grown-up airport activities.
I'm not afraid
airport activities.
to take
as far as I'm aware, the only mention of this console on the internet is from this console variations page, and currently this console's whereabouts are unknown. Anyway, our next set of rare GameCubes are these 5 GameCubes that were made by MTV. Basically, MTV would regularly give away prizes to listeners during their daily broadcasts, and back in 2003, a handful of specially designed GameCubes were given away at random. All of these MTV consoles were jet black at first, and were airbrushed by Stefan Leckis, a man from Hamburg, Germany. He received an order from MTV to create 25 airbrushed GameCubes, all of the designs having 4 units each, aside from this first one which he was asked to create 9 of. The people at MTV really liked the camo design, so that's why they asked for more of them. The next design was this white and blue one, given the name Snow White. Next we have this Tom Ford Gucci inspired one.
Tom Ford Gucci GameCube? That's what I'm fucking talking about. Now that's clean.
There was this colorful striped one inspired by the English designer Paul Smith. And lastly was the Canadian Maple Wood one, which in my opinion is the best looking one. Just like most of the consoles talked about today, I don't know who owns these, I don't know who won them, but it's a neat story nonetheless. For our second to last
The
rare
GameCube.
GameCube, we have this officially licensed Donkey Kong
Let's go.
promotional console, which was winnable through a competition at the Nintendo booth at Games Convention 2004, which took place in Leipzig, Germany. And lastly, our final two rare GameCubes are these two systems both given away through German gaming magazines. There was a Cow the Kangaroo console given
What
away
the
in the March
fuck?
2003 issue of
What is this game? I've never seen this. This is some bullshit. This is German.
Gewinnspiel. Price exclusive GameCube console. Airbrush. So nimmst du till.
Cube, Das Nintendo GameCube magazine, and an Incredibles console.
Let's fucking
Away
go.
in the
Jubiläumsgewinnspiel.
I'm just
Gewinnspiel.
realizing now that every single GameCube on this list was either created in or given away in Germany aside from that airport one. I really did try to find more, and I mean there was this one from Turkey which had a soccer team's logo on it, but there wasn't any photo provided, so like, I don't know. Anyways, let me know what console was your favorite in the comments. If y'all want a part 2 with different consoles, let me know.
Okay, but yeah, that was a good one.
Super Meat Boy WiiWare. Super Meat Boy is a platform game developed by Team Meat and is the successor to the iconic Flash game Meat Boy, originally released on the Newgrounds website in October 2008. A WiiWare version of this game was going to be released, however there were some complications that ended with it being scrapped. Super Meat Boy on WiiWare was taking a pretty long time to be made and had some delayings. After some time,
probably
Super Meat
would've
Boy had
played that
officially
shit, I'm
been
not gonna
cancelled
lie.
because of size limit problems on
It's
WiiWare.
cool.
The WiiWare service has a 40 megabyte size limit,
God
so Super
damn.
Meat Boy was obviously way more than that. It also had been cancelled because they were unable to find a publisher for the game. Action Replay Wii Disc.
Yo.
You may know this, but Action Replay was a line of video game cheating devices developed and manufactured by the UK company Detel. I'd say they were best known for their Action Replay DS cartridge. Anyways, in
The DSi
2008,
one.
after the discovery of an exploit in the signature verification of the Wii, new products from Detel, including a version of Action Replay for the Wii, started appearing in online storefronts for pre-order, releasing in January 2008. Here is a Best Buy listing for the product. While the Wii Freeloader, another disc-based device from Detel, ended up being widely sold on multiple stores, including their own, the Action Replay was soft-launched on considerably fewer sites, though it was available for order for a significant time period. On June 16, 2008, Nintendo released version 3.3 of the Wii system firmware, patching the exploit used by Detel that allowed these discs to run. While Detel continued to sell the Wii Freeloader, albeit with a warning that it could not be used on updated systems, the storefront listings of the Action Replay started to disappear at this time, with only the Best Buy store page remaining to this day. It is possible that Detel decided to postpone the full launch of the device until they had found a way to restore functionality on the latest Wii
I
system
could have been
firmware,
sick as
but,
fuck.
I mean, who really knows? Due to the limited release, this version of Action Replay has yet to be preserved in any way, with no listings appearing on eBay or secondhand
That's
sites.
crazy.
Super Mario Strikers 2. Super Mario Strikers Charged was released on the Nintendo Wii in 2007 and created by Next Level Games in partnership with Nintendo. It is the sequel to Super Mario Strikers on the GameCube. Now you may be wondering, hey, isn't this an actual game? Why is this on a Wii Lost Media list? Well, that's because there's an earlier version of the game that we don't really know much about, considering it was cancelled.
Oh, what?
Before it got the subtitle Charged later in development, the game was initially going under the simple title of Super Mario Strikers 2. The original title was scrapped before its first public showing at the Wii Prove Our Promise keynote in August 2006. There were many differences between this concept game and the final. The biggest unused visual idea that the artists at Next Level Games experimented with was the addition of mechs and other vehicles, which
What
were
the
decorated
fuck?
the perimeter of certain stages during game.
Evangelion as Toad right here. What the fuck is this shit?
This game deserves its own video, honestly, for how much changes were made from this version compared to the final. I mean, we'd be here all day if I covered everything. Wario Land Shake It Unused Enemies. Wario Land Shake It, aka Wario Land the Shake Dimension in Europe, is the fifth installment in the Wario Land series of platformer games. The gameplay consists most of shaking or flipping the Wii Remote to throw or manage
Never heard of this
objects while
shit.
doing some platforming. The game has only 6 worlds, but by searching through the game's code, it was possible to find lots of stuff that wasn't used in the final version.
Oh?
Probably, Wario Land Shake It could have been a bigger game,
yeah.
with more enemies and bosses.
Look at
and
that
maybe
thick
even worlds.
Wario right
There's
there.
a total of 7 unused enemies,
God
most of which
damn.
were completed with fluid animations, configurations, and even some effects,
It's like a
while
2014
others are still
teardrop.
incomplete. Here, I'll play some footage of them now.
Kinda cute. Just like a real obscure piece of media to put in, but I get it. Cactus one's really cute. I'm gonna take a fucking bong rip. Look at that shit, that mid pack. I'm gonna take a fucking bong rip.
Wii U Demai Channel. The Demai Channel, known outside of Japan as the Food Channel, was officially launched on the Wii on May 26, 2009, as a Japan-exclusive food delivery app developed by Nintendo and Denyu
DoorDash on the Wii, let's go.
It let users enter their address via the Wii to order from local restaurants, browse by cuisine, such as sushi, pizza, bento boxes, etc.
That's
choose
crazy,
toppings or options, apply coupons, and pay cash on delivery. On August 8, 2013, Nintendo released a version for the Wii U under the name Demaikan, capitalizing on the name of the restaurant delivery operator. Unlike the original Wii version with its custom interface and menus, however, the Wii U version simply redirected users to Demaikan's mobile-style website within the gamepad browser, serving as more of a web app than a full native interface. Both the Wii and Wii U versions were officially discontinued on March 31st, 2017, and removed from their respective physical stores on February 22nd, 2017. Choking back bile in my mouth when I say the site name. On Reddit, discussions from early 2025 confirmed that while the Wii U app still technically appeared on some modded systems, the actual ordering service ceased to function outside Japan after shutdown.
I hate Reddit too, but that joke about it was almost worse.
Z-Blue Cops Wii. Z-Blue Cops was a cancelled adventure game based around the French comic book of the same name.
That's kinda cool.
It was being developed by BioDroid exclusively for Wii, with a release being targeted for mid to late 2010. The original Z-Blue Cops comic series, a comedy about a group of incompetent law enforcers, grew a modest cult following in its country of origin throughout its run. However, with no official English translations of it ever released, the fanbase was never able to expand beyond there in any great numbers. BioDroid's video game would have been its first leap into English-speaking markets, with the team hoping for an international release. The title entered development midway through 2008 with ambitions high, one former developer calling it an attempt to revive the classic 90s adventure game. BioDroid's initial pitch to the comic's publisher placed a high emphasis on accurately conveying the humor and goofiness of the comic, but it was very much set on blazing its own trail. It would have seen the players controlling 10 different members of the Z-Blue Cops, each with their own unique abilities used to solve puzzles and take down enemies. 2 officers were rendered on the screen at a time, but you could cycle through a wheel of other playable characters to alternate between them in real time, similar to the LEGO video games or GTA 5. Frisbee. Yep, just Frisbee, that was the game's name. In 2007, Create Studios worked on a Frisbee game prototype for Nintendo Wii, developed to demonstrate their new tech. The team is mostly known for Coded Arms Contagion and Insecticide, but they also created a few tie-in games such as Aqua Teen Hunger Force Zombie Ninja Pro-Am, Jesus, that is a mouthful, and Biker Mice from Mars. This Frisbee game may have been pitched to some publishers as a cheap project for the casual market, but in the end it was never fully developed into a full game. Call of Putty. Clay Fighter Call of Putty is a vaporware game created by Interplay Entertainment for the DS and Wii, which was a planned sequel to the fighting game series Clay Fighter. It was created for the return of the Clay Fighter series and is—
Yo, let's run it in this shit. I main Snowman. You play Jack-o'-lantern, bro. If you play Snowman, I'll be so mad.
It is an updated version of Clay Fighter Sculptor's Cut.
What the fuck is
the game was originally announced in 2009 and was planned for a late 2010 to early 2011 release for the DSi.
Santa? What the fuck is this game? This looks like when you close your eyes and just see a bunch of crazy images and shit. What the fuck is this?
A Nintendo Wii. However, it was cancelled due to 2011 being the year that these consoles were retired, so that Nintendo could work on their newer consoles, the 3DS and Wii U. Wara Wara Plaza Early Version. The Wara Wara Plaza is one half of the Wii U's menu. That you may know. It's a big, plaza where Mii's can be seen standing under the floating logos of games you've been playing recently, or of games whose Miiverse community you're a part of. This is no longer how it functions, as online support has been pulled, so it just displays all of the system apps, but it's still cool looking. However, there was an early version of the Wara Wara Plaza seen in the pre-E3 2012 Nintendo Direct. 14 seconds of footage is all we have of this menu, but it shows the floating icons being arranged in such a way that was different from the final. In the final version, the logos are lined up in a circle, However, in this version, they are more randomly scattered. The actual game logos that are seen in this are all either placeholders, because I'm pretty sure none of these are actual real Wii U games. I mean, look, that is a Mario Kart 7 render. These are just generic photos of different Nintendo IPs, and that's a gun. I don't know where that one comes from. But yeah, this is all the footage of this beta Wara Wara Plaza, so who knows what other elements of the Wii U's menu were cut or reworked. Bulletin Board Channel. Nintendo originally planned a dedicated bulletin board channel, internally dubbed the What's New channel, for the Wii, which would have functioned as a centralized newsfeed style hub right on the console's menu interface. The concept came to light in the 2020 Nintendo Giga Leak, which revealed early builds showing a curated layout for news updates, system notices, and perhaps Nintendo promotions. Ultimately, the feature was scrapped in favor of expanding the existing Wii message board for similar purposes, and rather than launching a new channel, Nintendo would just extend the message board features over time, adding small updates, USB keyboard support, and enabling link sharing and SMS texting. It actually looks quite interesting and more colorful than the Wii message board, although that's because it wasn't made to fit the Wii menu's white and gray aesthetic. Megastar.
Okay,
Megastar.
I gotta fucking go to bed. This shit's making me sleepy. Much love, y'all, for tuning in.
New Super Mario Bros. Mii was a small Wii U demo shown by Nintendo at E3 2011, back when the system was still being introduced to the public. It wasn't a full game, only letting you play for like 10 minutes before the demo shut off and was reset, but was more of a tiny playable showcase built to demonstrate what the new hardware could do. The demo looked very similar to New Super Mario Bros. Wii, even sharing assets with that game, but instead of playing as Mario or Luigi, the whole gimmick was that you could use your own Mii characters. The main point of the demo was to show off the Wii U gamepad, where one person could play on the TV while another interacted using the touchscreen to place blocks. It also supported off-TV play, which was a big selling point at the time. If you were a follower of the Wii U, you'd know that New Super Mario Bros. Mii wasn't the big 2D Mario game for the system, but rather, this demo was kind of turned into New Super Mario Bros. U, one of the biggest Wii U launch titles. Many of the ideas like the visual style, multiplayer focus, and level structure carried over to the actual game, but the Mii concept, of course, was dropped in favor of traditional Mario characters. You can still play as Miis in select challenge modes of the game, but Miis weren't the main focus of New Super Mario Bros. U like they were here. Because the demo was only ever shown at E3 and never released publicly, the full build isn't available today. Regardless of the console they were made to showcase, this is a fate that many Nintendo E3 demos suffered, including some more in this video today. What exists nowadays of this game are merely some screenshots and short bits of footage. I suppose this demo isn't too different from the fully released New Super Mario Bros. U, but it still is an interesting piece of lost media that I hope is found someday.
Yeah, that's cool as fuck, what?
Wii U Panorama View was a digital application released on the Wii U eShop in 2012, developed by Nintendo to showcase 360-degree panoramic photographs and videos.
The fuck?
It allowed users to navigate virtual environments by moving the Wii U gamepad, which functioned as a window into the scene. The software featured interactive tours of various locations, including famous landmarks, scenic landscapes, and cultural sites, giving players an immersive way to explore real-world places from home. The game, if you'd even like to call it that, wasn't very popular despite it releasing, but what you may not know is that there was a very obscure early build of the game which never came out. It can be seen in a video titled Wii U Panorama View Hands-On by Engadget. The application still functions the exact same, like you spin the gamepad around and view these 360 landscapes, but there was an unused title screen featuring a Mii holding a gamepad, which did not appear in the final release of Wii U Panorama View. There is also another video of this demo which was uploaded by IGN, which reveals that it was playable at an E3 after-party. In this video, the Mii on the title screen is completely different, meaning that the demo probably cycled through a handful of different Miis every time it restarted. A pre-release trailer made by Nintendo also gives us another tiny glimpse at this early build of the game, which has Mii functionality built into the actual game, which was entirely removed from the final release. Your Mii can be seen in the bottom corner of the screen, moving in the same way that you were moving with the gamepad. As I said, this feature does not appear in the final release of the game, which is kind of a shame because it gives this otherwise dull experience just a little bit more charm. As of 2026, this original build of the game has not surfaced publicly, and likely never will. During E3 2014, alongside announcements for various other Wii U titles, Nintendo showcased 2 original tech demos designed to demonstrate the potential of the console's main controller, the gamepad. These demos, Project Guard and Project Giant Robot, were both conceptualized by Shigeru Miyamoto, who noted that they were in some way connected to the then untitled Star Fox Zero. Following the event, Project Guard was developed into a full game, released as Star Fox Guard, coinciding with the launch of Star Fox Zero on April 22, 2015. Project Giant Robot, however, despite indications that it was still in development
The Wii U was like such a weird era, because I feel like nobody cared about it but me. Like, every time my mom got me a Wii U game, I thought it looked so good, and like, I was so impressed, but like, everybody else had already seen that on like PS4 and shit. But that was really the first time I ever saw like high definition graphics was on the fucking Wii U. I mean, I think the Wii U is kind of underrated in general. I mean, Xenoblade Chronicles X is probably like one of the best games ever made ever. Anyways.
Late as 2016, never progressed to a full release. The Project Giant Robot tech demo allowed players to construct a robot by selecting various objects and attaching them to its body, with the ability to change the width, length, and depth of each object. Once assembled, the player's robot would enter battles against other robots, with the objective of toppling opponents to win. The gamepad served as the primary interface for positioning and managing the player's creation, highlighting the console's unique asymmetric control possibilities. Although the game was never shown publicly after E3 2014, Project Giant Robot continued to appear in Nintendo's earnings reports from 2014 to 2016, initially listed for a 2015 release before being changed to be determined. In a March 2016 interview with Time magazine regarding Star Fox Zero, Miyamoto briefly mentioned Project Giant Robot, noting that no decision has been made about turning the concept into a fully developed game. By January 31st of 2017, Nintendo's third earnings release for the 2017 financial year omitted Project Giant Robot entirely, effectively signaling the project's cancellation. As of today, the initial tech demo from E3 2014 has not resurfaced online, with only footage available. Given that development may have continued between 2014 to 2016, it is possible that additional material or builds exist, though it remains unknown whether any further work was ever completed. But I have a theory. Even though the original tech demo is lost nowadays, there was a robot kit released for the whole Nintendo Labo concept, if you even remember that.
Oh, damn.
Which plays pretty similarly to Project Giant
Robot.
Robot
It looks a lot like it.
Days. You go around a similar city setting as a robot and destroy things. However, it obviously hasn't been confirmed that this game derived from the Wii U tech demo. Hex Heroes was a Wii U party/strategy game announced in 2014 by Prismatic Games, with the game's design led by Mario Castañeda. The game was pitched as a 5-player experience for the Wii U, in which one player used the Wii U gamepad to oversee strategy and resource management, while up to 4 others cooperated using Wii remotes to harvest resources, build structures, and battle enemies across a dynamic map. Plans also included releases on Microsoft Windows, Mac OS, and Linux alongside the Wii U version. Development began after a successful Kickstarter campaign in 2014, which raised approximately $86,946 against its $80,000 goal. Prismatic Games actively engaged with funders, sharing updates through Kickstarter, and attending industry events like GX3 and the GDC Play Conference. What was cool about this game is that its characters all came from indie titles, many of which released on the Wii U eShop. Some characters include Shovel Knight, Max from Mutant Mudds, Hat Kid from A Hat in Time, the guys from the Game Grumps, among many other
I take it all back. That was gross.
Game protagonists. During development, the team encountered technical challenges adapting the game to the Wii U hardware, which was the platform they most wanted to release the game for. Reports from 2016
we have the Game
that
Grumps!
programmers had to revise core systems, such as how levels rendered, effectively rebuilding significant portions of the game's engine to achieve stable performance. These issues contributed to the prolonged development timelines, with progress updates becoming increasingly sporadic over the years. Despite occasional positive notes, including footage of the game running at 60 FPS on Wii U hardware, and hints at expanding to the then upcoming Nintendo Switch, Hex Heroes struggled to maintain forward momentum. In 2018, the developers reported being denied access to the Nintendo Switch development kits, further complicating efforts to expand the project.
Get denied access to the development kits.
Platform. By the
you tried to put Game Grumps in your fucking game. Like, that's like the most controversial shit ever. Nintendo's squeaky fucking clean. They're not gonna work with you. Like,
from Prismatic Games had slowed significantly, with the last official updates dating from 2021. The closure of the Wii U eShop in March of 2023 effectively foreclosed the possibility of publishing Hex Heroes on its originally intended digital storefront, as the game was still unfinished and had never entered Nintendo's certification process.
I'm gonna be real. Sounds like these guys didn't make a game. Sounds like they were just like, let's get Game Grumps! Let's get Shovel Knight! I mean, yeah, you had me like, oh, that looks cool, but like, bro, I mean, maybe I'm hating too hard if you're on the development team, you know, I'm not trying to shit on somebody making fucking art, because art's wonderful. But yeah.
As a result, Hex Heroes remains unreleased and is generally considered to have entered development hell or to be
sounds like development hell.
No official release date has ever been announced to the public, and no completed build has ever been made publicly available. Attack of the Killer Rabbids from Outer Space, later retitled Killer Freaks from Outer Space, was a first-person shooter developed by Ubisoft Montpellier in 2011. Intended as a horror-themed spin-off of the popular Raving Rabbids franchise, the game was planned for the PS3, Xbox 360, and Wii U. While it received early attention, the project was ultimately cancelled and heavily reworked into the Wii U exclusive game Zombie U.
Oh shit, really?
The game's original plot centered on a frightening alien cousin.
I used to think this was gonna be like the next Call of Duties. I begged my mom to fucking be like, yo, please, I need Zombie U. I want to play Zombie U online.
The Rabbids, later called the Freaks, who invaded Earth and caused widespread havoc. Players would take control of soldiers tasked with eliminating these creatures, using a variety of weapons including firearms, an electricity gun, and a buzzsaw launcher. The game also featured a multiplayer mode that supported up to 4 players. During development, the team was concerned that the game was too violent and grotesque to fit with the family-oriented Raving Rabbids brand. Designer Jean-Carl Tupik-Braun explained,
"We thought about making them cousins to the Raving Rabbids, but quickly decided to split it off. This is not what Raving Rabbids is all about."
As a result, the title was changed to Killer Freaks from Outer Space, and the freaks themselves were redesigned with a more reptilian appearance. The game was publicly revealed at E3 2011 as a planned launch title for the Wii U. Despite positive reactions to early footage, the development team struggled with several issues. The freaks were considered too small and difficult to see, forcing players to constantly look downward, and the game's fast pace was deemed poorly suited to the Wii U hardware. Unsatisfied with the direction of the project, Ubisoft ultimately cancelled it. Although the game itself has never surfaced, early trailers, screenshots, and concept art are still available online, providing a glimpse into what might have been a darker, more intense take on the Rabbids franchise. Sacrilegium was an ambitious survival horror action-adventure developed by Reality Pump Studios and planned to release on PC, PS3, and Xbox 360, with potential interest in the Wii U due to its multi-platform scope. Published by Topware Games, the project was first revealed through a detailed press release highlighting its story-driven single-player campaign, starring a young American student named Alex as the lead protagonist. Alex was designed as a strong, relatable character whose backstory, including her complicated relationship with a male secondary character named Ethan, was meant to provide emotional depth alongside the horror-focused gameplay. While character development was a focal point, the press release emphasized that gameplay would remain central, featuring combat, exploration, and survival horror elements. Despite the ambitious design and the extensive promotional materials, Sacrilegium never released, and little is known about how far development progressed beyond the press coverage. Screenshots, press releases, and concept art remain the only publicly accessible records. Its cancellation has left its gameplay and full narrative content largely unknown, with the project surviving only through its promotional documentation and early developer statements.
Sad. Meme Run PC port? What?
Meme Run was an infamous 2014 endless runner game released
on no, what? Released on the Wii U?
By Ninja Pig Studios and developer Jordan Sheets. In Meme Run, players controlled a stick figure with a troll face as its head.
This is so dated now. This looks fucking ancient, dude. This genuinely looks like fucking 2002 internet. Like, the 2010s internet aged so bad.
Navigating a randomly generated 2D world filled with various internet memes. The objective
with various internet memes like Lenny face
was to collect as many swag points as possible,
swag
while memes
points?
such as the Illuminati symbol,
oh god, make it stop!
and air horns attempted to obstruct your progress. Overall, the game
this looks like shit. If I was attached to this in any way, I would fucking try to wipe it from the internet. But no, it's on the Wii U, bro.
Culture, which was pretty big at its time, Meme Run quickly gained notoriety for its crude humor and questionable use of copyrighted material. Nintendo Life gave the game a 1 out of 10 rating, calling it abysmal and suggesting that Nintendo reconsider its eShop approval policies.
Yeah, it does.
Despite this, the game remained available on the eShop for over 2 months. On January 6th of 2015, a Steam Greenlight page was created to bring the game to PC. The page featured announcements about emoticons, trading cards, and backgrounds for Steam players, as well as planned Steam Workshop support. However, in March of 2015...
Steam Workshop support? They're just saying fucking whatever, dude. This is way worse than the other shit. We're gonna have Steam Workshop support so you can add your favorite memes. Fuck off.
Expectedly removed from the Wii U eShop. The creator of the trollface meme later stated that he had filed a copyright infringement take against the game. The Steam Greenlight page was never updated, and the PC port was quietly abandoned. To really put the final nail in the coffin, Valve retired the Greenlight service in 2017, further ensuring that Meme Run would never...
You're telling me Steam Greenlight hasn't existed since 2017? Dude, I think I'm old as fuck, and I think I have a bad memory. 2017? And I just thought this was always around? Why would they get rid of this? What the fuck?
See a PC release.
No, not Meme Run. Angry Joe plays Mario Kart.
Jose Antonio Vargas, better known by his internet persona Angry Joe,
is a popular YouTube
video game reviewer who is also the host of his own show, The Angry Joe
The Angry Joe Show,
which covers modern video games and later movies.
Fucking sucks.
While a majority of his content is available to watch on YouTube, his live stream recording of Mario Kart 8 has never resurfaced and has never been made available to the public. So, in December 2014, Angry Joe uploaded his top 10 best video games of 2014 video. At the start of this video...
This is like saying that, like, if I remove a video, it's lost media. Like, if I private this live stream is lost media. I mean, technically, but is it really lost media if nobody gives a fuck if it's found? Like, who the fuck is looking for this lost media? Angry Joe lost media iceberg? Oh, the lost Mario Kart Angry Joe live stream. I'm a big Angry Joe fan. I want to see it.
He brought up his opinion that there were quite a number of disappointing games released that year, but the Wii U had...
He's angry about it!
Mentioning that he may actually buy one. A week or so later, some fans donated him a Wii U along with games and accessories for it, one of them being Mario Kart 8. Out of excitement, he decided to do a live stream of him and some friends playing the game. As he was uploading a recording of the stream to YouTube, Nintendo made a copyright claim on the video, which they decided to take it down before it went public. Since then, the video was not surfaced anywhere, and unless someone was recording the live stream, it will likely never be uploaded.
This barely counts as Wii lost media. I really like this YouTuber, but this barely fucking counts, dude. Like, you are really stretching it, this one.
Angry Joe released a follow-up video after his video's removal, basically talking about his discontent with Nintendo's really backwards copyright policies. He had some pretty strong opinions regarding the copyright.
He's angry! How can you guys still be doing this? Seriously, fuck off! Other companies getting you don't! Nintendo can kiss my ass! Let all the Nintendo defenders flood my comments with ass-licking and praise for your corporate dickishness! Yeah, Angry Joe is the bad guy here. All he cares about are his videos and continuing his show. He should give all his shows fun to Nintendo! Nobody thinks that, Angry Joe. Who the fuck are you mad at for? This is ridiculous.
And placed on his videos. And I mean, this wasn't a huge controversy, but the video garnered over 1 million views, and people in the comments were saying that Nintendo was completely wrong for claiming his video. Some say that the reason his video was flagged for copyright was because of Nintendo's rogue copyright detection bot.
Oh, wait, so like 1 million people had seen it and nobody downloaded it? That's really funny, actually, that actually nobody cares about Angry Joe enough to archive his videos. That's so funny, actually.
But Angry Joe stated that he talked with YouTube, Google, and companies that
He's angry!
Content, and they told him that the copyright
Look how angry he is!
Nintendo seemed to have loosened up a bit after this event, as Let's Plays are one of the biggest ways that their games get promoted. At E3 2011, Nintendo showcased several tech demos for the then upcoming Wii U, including Chase Me and Battle Me, both designed to highlight the capabilities of the Wii U gamepad. Chase Me placed one Mii dressed as Mario, running ahead of up to 4 other players controlling their own Miis in a maze-like arena. Players had to catch the Mario Mii once a timer expired, with the first player to succeed declared the winner. The demo was well received by those who played it, but the original build is yet to resurface. Footage of the demo survives online, and many have noted its clear influence on the Wii U launch title Nintendo Land, which included the minigame Mario Chase with very similar mechanics. Battle Me was another tech demo from E3 2011, which explored combat and cooperative gameplay using the gamepad alongside Wii remotes. In the demo, 2 Miis dressed up as Samus from the Metroid series navigated a large arena, shooting at enemies, targets, and each other. A third player could control Samus's gunship, adding another layer of strategy as they attempted to defeat the other 2 players. This concept would later evolve into the Metroid Blast minigame in Nintendo Land, which expanded and refined the ideas shown in this demo. Like Chase Me, as well as the other Wii U tech demos I talked about today, the original Battle Me demo has never been released publicly.
Wii U Zapper.
To end this video off, we have by far the strangest piece of Wii U lost media, if you'd even like to consider it that. In the E3 2011 trailer for the Wii U, around 50 seconds in, there's a minigame being played by someone holding what looks like a version of the Wii Zapper peripheral, but for the Wii U. It has a holder for the Wii U.
Holy shit! I'm gonna fucking snipe him, dude! I'm gonna kill his ass!
Sniper scope. The player aims it into a window and shoots at a Mii of Shigeru Miyamoto. Who knows if this is an actual game or just an animation, but what's more interesting is the actual Wii U Zapper peripheral itself.
What the fuck? No! No! Don't kill him!
It's a pretty cool idea and could probably make shooter games feel pretty immersive. Recently I talked about Wii Sports and its many obscurities and strange facts. With only 5 sports, that game had quite a lot to talk about. So naturally, its much larger sequel, Wii Sports Resort, has to have a handful of obscurities too. Let's talk about them. To begin this video, I wanted to talk about this really weird rumor revolving around the cycling minigame. So, in other sports like table tennis and swordplay, there's these little rewards you can earn from reaching pro status. If you hit pro status in table tennis and hold 1 while selecting your Mii, you can use a slipper as your ping pong paddle in-game. In swordplay, you can use
what the fuck, bro?
Earn from reaching pro status. If you hit pro status in table tennis and hold 1 while selecting your Mii, you can use a slipper as your
I got pro. What the fuck? That's cool as hell. I didn't know about this shit.
Ping pong paddle in-game. In swordplay, you can use a purple sword when pressing 1 while selecting a Mii after you've defeated Matt. These Easter eggs are pretty cool and a fun subtle way to reward you for essentially completing that sport. However, what if I told you that cycling had one of these pro status rewards too? Would you believe me? Well, supposedly, if you reached pro status in cycling and then held the 1 button while selecting your Mii, you'd unlock a secret bicycle normally only used by NPC riders around Woohoo Island. Unlike the sleek racing bikes used during the actual cycling minigame, this hidden bike supposedly had a basket attached to it. According to the rumor, Miis with their gender set to male would ride a basket bike carrying pizza, while female Miis would receive one with flowers on it. This rumor was oddly specific, and honestly just believable enough to pass off as real. After all, the game had already contained these other small unlockables, so players had little reason to doubt this. This rumor got relatively popular back when the game came out, and it's even still talked about nowadays, albeit in a much more doubtful light. The earliest major source of the myth appears to trace back to a site called Cheat Code Central, which published instructions claiming that players could unlock the basket bike by achieving pro class in cycling and holding 1 while selecting a Mii. This was only weeks after the North American release of Wii Sports Resort, when players were still discovering secrets. Because Cheat Code Central mixed real unlockables with fake and unverified ones, the basket bike rumor blended in perfectly. Soon after, forum users started reposting the exact same wording across sites like Game FAQs and VG charts, helping the claim spread through gaming communities. And as the rumor evolved, people began adding new details that made the story even stranger, such as the whole gender thing, and eventually, IGN would catch wind of this and publish a guide repeating the basket bike instructions almost word for word from earlier forum posts. Once a massive site like IGN documented it, countless people just assumed the secret had to be real and spent hours trying to unlock something that never actually existed.
Damn, I've
It's
never
pretty
heard of
funny
this.
to think that one small little lie on a cheat code website led to a pretty widespread rumor about Wii Sports Resort.
It would be cool though.
But yeah, this basket bike thing was never usable in game, although it would have been pretty cool to have a pro status reward for cycling. If you want to learn more about the basket bike rumor, I'd suggest watching Macon's video about the topic. It was a very well made video and they spent a lot of time researching the topic. I'll have that linked in the description for you to check out later. Alright, moving on, next I want to talk about the many obscure details hidden in the beta builds of Wii Sports Resort. Starting with this. This is an early screenshot of the cycling minigame, depicting 4 Miis riding the same bike. They also appear to be driving head-on towards a car. In order for this car not to hit them, the driver's either going to have to slam on his brakes, or they might just be shit out of luck because that bike can't possibly turn in time to avoid a collision. Whatever, yeah, in the beta version of Wii Sports Resort, it was probably going to be some sort of multiplayer cycling mode where you and up to 4 friends could cycle on the same bike, kind of as if you were on a family vacation and you rented one of these ridiculous things. I honestly would have preferred this to the actual multiplayer mode in cycling, which is just a simple versus race. Imagine all having to pedal in unison to move the bike around the island.
God, that looks fucking scary.
Swordplay was also pretty different in its beta version compared to its final release. Swordplay was first shown off at E3 in 2008, alongside early versions of Power Cruising and Frisbee Dog, which was going by the name Disc Dog at the time. The 2008 Swordplay demo starts with players slicing objects such as logs and pencils on top of the Swordplay platform, similarly to Speed Slice from the final game. However, this does not happen in the final version of Duel, and unlike the final game, the Miis also lack any headgear.
Oh, what the fuck?
Blocking is seen to function differently, with the player being affected by the block not being momentarily stunned, and the Miis also animate in a more ragdoll fashion when hit. The Frisbee Dog demo was practically the same as it appeared in the final game, the only differences being the name, the crowd noises, and the fact that throwing the Frisbee was done with the A button, as opposed to the final game using the B button. Power Cruising also didn't change much from its E3 appearance to the final, with that minigame's only difference being a visually different power meter, and the timers on the gates going down by whole numbers rather than decibels. Something that I find very interesting about Beta Wii Sports Resort, which is definitely different from the final, is the title screen and menu. Starting with the title screen, there's a few noticeable differences here. First, the copyright date is obviously set to 2008, which is different from the final release's 2009 date. The part that really interests me here is the model of Woohoo Island in the background. For a little context, Woohoo Island's first appearance was technically not in Wii Sports Resort,
Woohoo Island.
as it first appeared in the 2007 release of Wii Fit, albeit going by the name Wii Fit Island. Wii Fit Island is practically the same as Woohoo Island, however some differences are here, such as some landmarks being missing, like the Summerstone Castle, the Kokoba Hotel, and the Maka Woohoo Volcano.
Not the volcano.
And I know that this E3 screenshot is really low quality, but if we use this image of it and look closely, you'll notice that this title screen uses the Wii Fit Island model and not the Woohoo Island model, probably because it just wasn't created yet. See, there's no hotel, no castle, and no volcano. Moving on to the game's menu, wow, that is just completely different. Instead of 12 small boxes for each sport, there is only 6 boxes, meaning that Wii Sports Resort potentially could have been a much smaller game. Only 4 spots appear to be unlocked in this image, those being Swordplay Duel, Frisbee Dog, Power Cruising, and another Swordplay box, which also appears to depict Swordplay Duel. After Nintendo's E3 2008 showcase, they spent a lot more time developing the game, which left us with a lot of cool things to look at. Like, how about this unused menu?
What the fuck?
The image quality sucks so bad, but we can see that this version of the menu had every sport intact, although here they were separated into different categories. The first row had variety sports, the second row had the ball sports, and the third row had the ride sports. Alright, one last menu related thing I want to show you. Take a look at these 2 storyboard images.
Oh shit.
These images depict early versions of the Mii Select screen, implying that you would have been able to select your Mii before even entering the sports selection menu. Okay, now getting into some of the actual sports, let's begin with Frisbee Dog, which was going to look a bit different at one point. These early screenshots show the Frisbee and the logo in the sand being much brighter, using a more teal shade of blue compared to the one seen in the final game. The dog's head also appears to be clipping through its body in this screenshot, and the crowd members in the background just look terrible. These crowd members sort of resemble Kokeshi dolls, kind of similar to how these looked before the Wii released in 2006.
Whoa.
Moving on to archery, this minigame had quite a few differences in some early developer screenshots. First, there is this image, which is pretty cool because it shows a real person demonstrating how to shoot the bow for the tutorial. This is different from the tutorial in the final game, which does not use a real video. There is also this developer screenshot which shows the target in the middle of some expansive grass field. This image also takes place in the same mystery location, although here the Mii is seen with no animation for holding the bow, so it simply just floats next to them. Archery also had 27 different stages which went unused in the final game, and as much as I'd love to talk about them all, that would be insanely boring since a lot of them just don't function properly. To sum it up though, most unused stages took place on less explored places of Woohoo Island, with my favorite being stage ID 25, which takes place here.
What the fuck?
The final sport, which has notable differences from its early version to the final one, is swordplay, where these images show the player's sword having a Wii remote inside the grip.
Oh.
The sword design in the final game is much more basic, although I would have to say that the final sword looks a lot more natural. It would be cool though to have a Wii remote sword maybe as an unlockable in Showdown. Okay, diverging from unused content for a while, there's a very cool, relatively obscure promotional event that took place in 2009 with the goal of selling Wii Sports Resort. In July of 2009, Nintendo held a Wii Sports Resort themed event in the middle of New York City's Times Square. They transformed Military Island, the small plaza between 43rd and 44th Street, into a tropical-themed resort inspired by Woohoo Island.
Oh,
the
cute.
promotion happened on July 23rd of 2009,
Oh, that's so cool.
just
What the
days before
fuck?
the game's North American release on July 26th. They filled the area with sand, palm trees, lounge chairs, game kiosks, and even a swimming pool to make the middle of Manhattan look like a beach vacation destination. Passers-by could stop in and try sports from the game like archery, basketball, swordplay, golf, and table tennis. Nintendo heavily promoted the idea that Wii Sports Resort was the next step after the original game, with more realistic
That's so
movements and
cool.
deeper gameplay.
What the fuck?
Reports from the
I
time
didn't know that
described
happened.
crowds of tourists, families, and office workers stopping by to play the demos throughout the day. One of the craziest details about this promotion, in my opinion, was the amount of real sand used in the setup. According to coverage from Kotaku, Nintendo brought in roughly 50 tons of sand from New Jersey to build the temporary...
Hey, this
beach in
New
Times
Jersey
Square.
sand,
But
eh?
the full ad campaigns don't stop with this event. While it isn't nearly as extravagant as a full transformation of Times Square, Nintendo would host these little interactive flash advertisements on websites back in
What the
2009 to
fuck?
promote the game. The banner at the top had a button you could press, which would cause this bigger square ad on the side to react, which showed a man shoot a basketball across the webpage and into the hoop. Is that not the coolest thing you've ever
That's
seen?
pretty dope, man.
If it wasn't, then I'm sure this is. The official Papa
No
John's Wii
fucking
Sports
way.
Resort
Let's go,
collaboration.
Papa John. What can you get? Family fun night? Large one topping pizza, 2 20 ounces, 2 20-ounce Cokes. Save $10 on Wii Sports Resort. Fuck it.
Yes, I am not lying.
I wonder how
In
many
late
people did that.
2009, during the peak of the Wii craze, Papa John's partnered with Nintendo for a Thanksgiving season sweepstakes centered around Wii Sports Resort. At the time, getting a Wii console during the holidays was very, very difficult. Every Black Friday since 2006, stores would be flooded with people trying to grab one before they sold out, so the Wii had become one of the most wanted holiday gifts in America. I guess Papa John saw this hype and decided to launch a promotion promising customers they could avoid
The
the Black
Papa
Friday
John's
chaos
way.
entirely. The sweepstakes ran throughout November 2009 and offered 300 Wii Sports Resort prize packages to winners across the US. Each package included a Wii console, a copy of Wii Sports Resort, a Wii remote story happening at the time involving company founder John Schnatter. In the same press
John
release, the
Schnatter.
company referenced the recent recovery of John's famous 1971 Z28 Camaro,
Famous.
which he had originally sold years earlier to help fund the early days of the pizza business. Papa John's compared that story to the sweepstakes by joking that Christmas came early for Schnatter that summer, and would now come early for the 300 contest winners too. If you wanted to own one of these Papa John's Wii Sports Resort posters, you can find
That's
them on
cool.
eBay for like 15 to 20 bucks. Go knock yourself out. Another Wii Sports Resort promotion which I thought was pretty cool was this Japan-exclusive blue Wii remote which was
Oh, that's
given away
sick.
through Club Nintendo. This promotion gave players a
fuck?
chance to win a complete set of Sky Blue Wii accessories that were never sold in stores. To enter, you had to buy Wii Sports Resort and register the game through Club Nintendo between June 25th and August 31st of 2009. From there, entrants were placed into a lottery, and only 5,000 winners would actually receive the bundle. Nintendo would later release standard blue Wii remotes worldwide, but this earlier Sky Blue shade was a little bit different.
Kinda
The
pretty.
controller also came preloaded with 2 special Miis,
What the fuck?
Takashi Okamura and Hiroyuki Yabe, based on the Japanese comedy duo 99.
Oh, what?
The duo appeared in a set of Japanese commercials promoting Wii Sports Resort at the time, so Nintendo
Ah.
included them directly inside the remote as a small little bonus. Like other officially distributed Nintendo Miis, they wore golden pants, meaning they couldn't be edited or copied by players, and I think that's pretty neat. I'm a very big fan of the way Nintendo chose to market Wii Sports Resort. That whole website thing is probably the coolest fact I learned all week. Look at it again. Wow. Exclusively in the Korean release of Wii Sports Resort, there's a few differences that can be noticed when comparing its title screen to those of other regions. In the Korean title screen, the logo looks like this. The Wii Sports text is much larger than the Resort text. This logo is present in every aspect of the game that would show the logo, such as the opening cutscene with the parachutes. In every other release of Wii Sports Resort, however, the Resort text is significantly larger than the Wii Sports text. Even the Taiwanese release of Wii Sports Resort uses this logo. The Korean release is the only one being different. And don't ask me why this change was made, because quite frankly, I'm just not sure. The title screen in the Korean release also has a copyright date of 2009 to 2010, as opposed to the copyright date of just 2009 in every other release. The reason for this difference is very simple. It's because Wii Sports Resort came out in the summer of 2010 in Korea, a whole year after every other region received it. And while we're on the topic of the title screen, did you know that the parachuting Miis that only appear on the title screen after the first launch of the game are actually just really low poly models? Because the title screen is so zoomed out from Woohoo Island, these Miis are very hard to get a good look at, and are meant to just be a little visual treat for those looking past the logo. However, if you use a free roam camera and zoom all the way in, wow, those are some low poly models. Another little title screen obscurity can be found through a little string of inputs that you can actually go do right now. Take your Wii remote and press A, B, down, 1, 2, up, minus, and if you look in the corner of the screen, you'll find a little bit of debug text which gives some information about the build of the game which you're playing on. It's nothing too special, but it's neat nonetheless. If we take a venture into the Mii selection menu of Wii Sports Resort, another little obscure detail can be found. Once again, only through the help of a free roam camera. When you're selecting a Mii, all of the Miis saved to your console appear in tiny little boxes for you to click on and select. But if you use a free roam camera and just start moving around, you'll notice that these Mii models are actually not connected to the boxes at all, and kind of just float there. Is it a pointless fact? Yes. But is it kind of cool?
It's cool.
I think so. Okay, I have one more menu-related fact, that one being tied to the settings menu. When you enter the settings menu, if you have keen ears, you'll notice that the familiar title theme changes a little bit, and you can listen to a jazzier rendition of it. Because the music changes as soon as you enter the settings menu and doesn't restart the entire track, the first couple seconds of this jazzier cover is rarely heard in-game, since you always start the game on the title screen, which also begins the music. But if you extract the audio file for the settings menu music, you can hear the start of this audio track, which I'll play for you now.
Oh cool, what the fuck?
Alright, with all of the menu-related obscurities out of the way, I want to close this video off by telling you about 3 different minigames which were planned for Wii Sports Resort, but never ended up making it into the game. So, in an email interview with Wired Online magazine, Katsuya Iguchi, one of the developers behind Wii Sports Resort, shared some pretty interesting info about the game.
We considered fishing and a water slide activity before deciding on the final 12 events.
Oh, I wanted to fish there,
Iguchi said. We're having a hard time imagining a controllable, skill-based water slide minigame, which may have been one of the reasons it didn't end up in a resort. As for more unconventional concepts, we created a pretty fun prototype of kendama, a traditional Japanese toy that just didn't fit the game's theme.
So yes, water slide, fishing, and kendama were all going to be planned for the game at one point. These minigames were likely cut though, because, well, as he said, they just didn't really fit the theme of the game. Out of the 3 cut minigames, I personally think fishing was my favorite idea. Fishing in Wii Play was pretty fun, so imagine some sort of fishing minigame in Wii Sports Resort. Maybe you could fish in the seas of Woohoo Island, I feel like that'd be pretty cool. The whole kendama thing was a pretty neat idea too, although I feel like this one absolutely doesn't fit in with the rest because the whole Wii series of games is kind of about being understandable for casuals, and I feel like half the people who played this game just wouldn't know what kendama is. But yeah. That's gonna do it for Wii Sports Resort's many obscurities. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If there's any obscure facts you know about which I didn't talk about today, let me know about them in the comments. Before I go, shout out to all of my amazing channel members. Thank you all for supporting. I'll see everybody soon. Goodbye.
That was a sick video.